6 weeks too late. No. No, it did come at a good time. Sometime early in the year, you like to have one the first few weeks to kind of evaluate where you're at and tweak things. But that being said, all things considered, now looking at how this thing sets up, it actually came at a very, very good time. Whether it's trying to get some guys healed up, same thing, trying to evaluate your personnel and things that you got to work on. You need 2 weeks to work on all the stuff we need to work on. So, yeah, it came at a good time.
Can you say with some conviction that you'll be better defensively the second half?
Well, I hope to. I expect to. And I'd be surprised if we weren't.
What are some of the reasons that you believe?
I just think more maturity in the system. Some of the young guys getting more experience. The things that we've had time to take a deep breath and emphasize when you have a little bit more time. And again, having an opportunity, I said before the season, it'll be a continuous process and trying to evaluate what we can and can't do, certain things that we have problems with, issues with, things that maybe our guys, and we'll find out things that they can't do very well, and again, some things that they can do well. So, all along, our experienced guys have got to play at a consistent level, and let the young guys continue to grow within the system. And if that takes place here the last part of the season, then I think we'll see dramatic improvement.
As the first half went along, did you talk with the staff about, when we get to the open date, let's try to take those 2 weeks to work on and maybe changing this or changing that?
When before the season and then early part of the season, we obviously having the Thursday night game a week from now, that was the biggest emphasis on what we wanted to get accomplished during how to spend our time. And again, it still comes down, you don't reinvent the wheel. It's about your fundamentals, and technique, and your players' understanding, and defense's trained reaction, getting them trained obviously a lot better than what we have for what we're going to see, and just again the fundamentals of the game. Again, the discipline that it takes, the toughness that it takes, and you can grind them a little bit in that off week as well, knowing that they have a few days to recover. So when you are together, so we practice very well, and I think I think a lot of things were accomplished. The true test on what we got accomplished remains to be seen. We're going to find out real quick, but it's pretty obvious that a few of the things that we got to work on, and it's the fundamentals of the game.
Any personnel changes? Any personnel changes?
No.
How would you evaluate how Travis Blank's did safety, and you see him there?
He did real well. He did real well. I think he'll continue to be a guy that we can. I wish that we didn't have to float him in, but he gives us quality depth at a couple of positions. Ideally, your football team is built that way, without having to play guys at multiple positions. In fairness to him, that typically would happen with an older guy. And but we feel like he gives us the best options with what he's doing, both there at safety and at our nickel versus the spread. So, but Kwani Christian's come along and played well really the last 3-4 weeks at a level that I would expect him to. Anyway, he did well. He's a smart guy. He's instinctual. Again, when he knows where he's at and what he's doing, he tackles well. He's a good space player, and he's a guy that, very seldom does he make the same mistake twice. So things aren't always going to be perfect, but you'd like to be able to correct things, whether it's on the sideline or from week to week, and get those things corrected and get better from mistakes. And he's a guy that, has shown, the ability to do just that.
So Christian playing better at OLB gives you the flexibility to move Blanks to safety a little bit more.
Right. Yep. And just gives you more options if things are like you want them to be, whether it's somebody not playing well or somebody needs a a breather or what have you. So somebody obviously gets nicked up, and that's something that as we've gone through the season, you've said, okay, we need to maybe we need to find ways to get better, what makes us better. And so that's part of that, again, that process of continually analyzing where we're at, what guys can and can't do, and trying to, again, put your fingers in the leaks here and there. So
In that same vein, how do your ends fit in that?
we don't have a lot of numbers there, and it's not like we're holding something back. In regards to a young player that just needs to come along. So we need to play better there. They recognize that. It's been addressed, and I thought Corey Crawford, the last couple of weeks has done some things, that's, playing with, more urgency and showing up, we need to, continue to demand, and we got to get more production, from those guys. And when those guys can do that, to help set the edge on things, it really takes a lot of stress off of you in a lot of different ways. So,
Single most disappointing area?
I don't know. There's a lot of areas that that I'm not pleased with. So that's just one of a number of them.
You thought there would be, certainly though at this point, you thought there'd be more production?
I thought we would as a defense. So that again starts with me. Obviously, I didn't see it like I needed to, and we got to put our guys in better position as well. So I put them in positions where they can be successful.
The young D tackles leader in walking particular, sometimes you can see things evolving. The way person can't obviously practice every day. Did they really come on a lot over the last several weeks versus where they were in August before they got any playing time?
Yeah, particularly DJ's played a little bit more, but Carlos has made improvement. He's not quite the same level. Again, just that maturation, he's not that far off either. So a lot of it's just fundamentals and his understanding of everything around him, and where things become second nature, where he can really turn loose and play. And so anyway, DJ's a little bit more physically ready to play. Carlos is a big guy. Just DJ's his physicalness plus his fundamentals, technique, his ability to move and change direction, because things happen really fast. The closer you get to the line of scrimmage, the less margin for error there is for small, subtle mistakes, whether it's hand placement, your eyes, your footwork. You make a mistake, the closer to the line of scrimmage, it can be catastrophic. And so anyway, there's DJ's a little bit more ahead that way. And again, he has, I think, the things that maybe have been noticeable, to the naked eyes is about right on point. He's far from a great player right now, but we're excited about his future and pleased with the things that he's been able to contribute up to this point.
Coach, you mentioned trying to put guys in better positions to execute your defense. Do you think you might scheme a little bit differently down the stretch to try to play to your guys' strengths, or do you just want them to come along in this system?
Well, I think it's a combination of the two. Like I said, you're finding out, through 6 games, what areas keep popping up. Whether, again, somebody's getting behind us, or we're missing tackles, or you have gap integrity issues, or maybe it's what a linebacker can mentally handle out there on the field, the communication process. Maybe the guy you're leaning on isn't quite there yet. So you got to, what they can do, what they can't do, and then how you can help them, that maturation process. So, there's no, to me, again, there's still no question we got, the right guys to be a heck of a lot more successful and consistent than we have been, and that's been the frustrating part for me as a coach, because I've always felt that lies right here at my feet. So we're working hard to continue that evaluation process, and hopefully we're a little bit closer. I expect to be.
Was it 2 weeks off? Did you have more time to evaluate all your players?
1 week. But
well, man, yeah.
I wish it was 2 weeks.
Did somebody pop up that you weren't aware of that went, wow, I didn't realize he had gotten this far? And the second part of that, how do you feel like the players and you have evolved now that it's been halfway through the season? Is it easier for you to talk to the guys, easier for them to talk to you now? And is all that newness wore off?
Nothing surprised me during the off season. I mean, somebody didn't magically appear. But in regards to, I think that's a continual thing. It just doesn't happen overnight. The level of comfort, I'm not uncomfortable by any stretch, and the trust, I believe, and the communication is where it needs to be. And that's something that, like any relationship, that's you continue to foster and nourish that. So most importantly, more than anything else, the best teams that I've been associated with are ones that are player driven. The mindset, the culture, the standards that are set, and they demand it from each other. And we're continually trying to push that. I think our guys understand. I think they're as disappointed as anybody in our lack of consistency, and and they have the willingness to try to work through and rectify the issues that are there. There's ownership at everybody's feet, and nobody's had any problem whatsoever taking the responsibility of that. And that just doesn't get done alone, but you need that to get it corrected. And I know it's, well, how come it hasn't done it? It's, hey man, I'm with you. So again, that's we continue to go back to work and continue to demand and continue to work on the things that that are issues with us. But a lot of it's pre-snap. So that's when we get to the game, we can't get out there and freak out. Just get out there. Nobody got to be Superman. Quit trying to do too much. Just do your job. Get lined up. Put your eyes where you've been putting them all week in practice. And if you do that, good things happen. Nobody has to play like Superman. That's not how you play great defense. And we're just trying to play consistent defense right now.
It's not odd that you say that about being Superman, because Dalton made a statement a while ago, don't play outside what you're supposed to do. Do your job, and you'll be all right. With the Thursday night game coming up, have you making plans already? Say, hey, hopefully we can pull this one out and pull this guy out, give him a rest. I mean, if it goes the way you'd like for it to.
I need a rest.
You need rest.
No.
I didn't know if you'd like to say, well, the game's under control, let's try to get so-and-so out.
We're getting ready to play Virginia Tech.
Yeah, well.
I don't know what everybody, I know my perception of Virginia Tech is all them 10-win seasons and the model of consistency in college football in the last 15, 16, 17 years doesn't get better than what they've been able to accomplish in the kind of program that they run. We'll get their A game and then some, and they're a highly talented team that are incredibly well coached and very, very tough and prideful, and a hardcore mindset that can handle the hostility of Death Valley. So, I wish we had that kind of luxury, but most teams going into play Virginia Tech don't, so we've tried to make good use of our off week and spend a little bit of time preparing for that shortened week next week, but right now we can't afford to put the cart before the horse.
Was there any, though, comfort in knowing that last year most of these same guys did a good job in 2 games against Logan Thomas and that crowd?
Some, yep, some. I think Andre Branch had 4 sacks against them the first time they played, was terrorizing them. So if he wants to come back and play this week, it's the first half. Got to get our feet set so we can rest some of those guys in the second half.
What are your thoughts on Logan Thomas' kind of skill set?
Big, strong, huge arm, good composure, good leader. Kind of the strength of their offense, just in regards to that leadership, and obviously he's an extension. They're running a lot of no huddle, and so they're putting a lot on him, in navigating and managing that. A great deal of experience of winning, probably a great deal of confidence in him as an individual. Big, strong guys, hard to tackle, and some of their design quarterback arms.
We've seen a gradual progression. Has that improved with the?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I just kind of see I saw them. That's what they started this year.
Yeah.
I mean,
or are they getting better throughout the season?
I think they've got some playmakers. I think they've found who those playmakers are. They've got some good young backs. Moore's a really explosive guy, and then I think they've got 3 good quality receivers, and in 83 and 7 and 11. All guys that can stretch the field and make plays. And I think they've done a really good job of you know, they had some issues up front with some graduation and some injuries. And I think last week was indicative of they found some ways to, you know, give them an opportunity to be successful. So, you know, they had some explosive plays in that game that really, you know, turned the game around. You know, both through the air and on the ground. I don't know how many explosive plays, but there's a handful of, you know, between 35 and 84-yard big plays in that game that brought them back. Some crucial turnovers on the defensive side of the ball.
With the short turnaround, you mentioned that. Did you guys get a chance to maybe take a little bit of a look at Wake Forest next week, or how does that benefit you going into next week?
Yeah, I mean, just like they had an off week, just like they did. So it's, I think it's, you know, we utilizing our time appropriately to do that. Just for a quick minute, you know, we needed to get on to Virginia Tech and, you know, gotta win the next one, and we gotta take it that one game in our mentality, but we did.
I'll see it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Any interest in the Eagles defensive coordinator position?
I'm sorry?
Any interest in the Eagles defensive coordinator position?
Me?
Just kidding. I'm an Eagles fan.
I don't think I'm on that